Hey there, welcome to day 49 of my year of solo board gaming. This is the end of Occupational Hazard week. This may look familiar. That's because I also did a game of this yesterday. Yesterday, though, I felt like I made so many rule errors that I wanted to take another crack at Flashpoint. This time we're using the opposite side of the board. The opposite side of the board is distinguished by the fact that there are no doors on this side or this side. There's just the two doors down here. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult to break in. We're going to go ahead and do the whole setup here. We're going to use a random setup. We're using 3 firefighters. Flashpoint, of course, doesn't officially have a solo variant, but you can play with just 1 firefighter, and then just simply, if you have to switch specialties, it's going to cost you an extra 2 AP. But at least it's a little bit more direct in terms of what you're doing. But I kind of like playing with 3. I like having the deck gun, for example, out to start off with, because that is a really good way to just sort of get the fire under control. I did take some time to look up some of the additional rules that I made mistakes on. One of the other ones I made mistakes on is POI placement. So when you're placing a POI, and let's say there's a fire here, and this is where you place the POI, what you're supposed to do is follow these arrows. And so you move to this one, right, or actually this has got a down arrow, so you move down here, and then if that one's filled, you move up here, and if that one's filled, you continue around this way until you get to over here. So one of these spots. So you are supposed to be a little bit more cognizant of where the POIs go. You don't just simply re-roll. That is something that one of the many things that I did wrong. We're going to try to have a clean playthrough here. So if I do end up making any more mistakes, let me know in the comments. I will try to comment on them as I go along if I realize I've made them. But for now, let's go ahead and get set up. So the first part of the setup is, of course, door goes in the center, board goes in the center, doors go on their spot. We're going to do a recruit level. That means we're going to do 3 initial explosions and 3 hazmats. The first explosion you set using the 8-sided dice, and it's one of 8 locations on the board. So our first location is the 6th one that they give us, which is 4-5. 4-5 is going to be here. So that is going to be both a fire and one of the other things that I was doing wrong is that when you advance a fire, what you do is you check to see which outcome is going to happen in each direction. So there are 3 possible outcomes. One is you simply have more fire, which is going to go here. The other is if you hit a wall, you put a damage marker out, and that indicates that that wall is destroyed, but you don't do anything to the side beyond it, and that was another mistake that I was making. Over here, we're going to place a fire, and over here, we're going to place 2, because that was a key structural component. If you run out of damage cubes at any point, the game is over. You're done. That's it. But that is our first explosion. For the second explosion, we just simply roll, and we take whatever we get. I'm going to go a little red non-dice tray thingy. 1-7. So that means over here, that is going to blow this out here, and then the other 3 spots will be fires. And of course, there's a little hotspot here. We are going to put the other 6 hotspots up here now. That was one thing I really had difficulty remembering, is to add the additional hotspots as they occurred. There we go. All right, and now our third one. For the third one, we take the dice that we have and we flip over, I think it's the black dice. So 4. I'm glad I figured that out before I dropped it. And then we roll this one. We roll this one. 5. So that'll be here. And now this will create some additional fire here and here, and it will knock out these 2 walls. There we go. And that's a hotspot now. We're now going to place the hazmats. Those are next, I think. Yeah. So what you do is you roll the dice. This you just keep rolling dice until you have 3 spots. So 2-2 is one of our hazmat items. 1-6 is another one, which unfortunately already has a fire, so we're going to re-roll again. 1-3. 3-1. I need to make sure I'm saying the 6 first. 5, 6, which I think might have a... Nope, it's going to be right there. That is a dangerous looking area. And then finally, what we're going to do is we're going to take the... We've got all our POIs over here separated out. In the game, you take out 2 of the victims and 1 of the false alarms, and you put those in the box, and what we have here are the remainders. We're going to place 3 victims, 5, 2, so there's a victim there. 4, 2, there's a victim there. And then 5, 5. There is not a victim here because there's a fire. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the arrows. The arrow points us this way, and then we continue on this way. So there's a person there. All right. What next? Roll to place additional hotspot markers. We're doing 3 firefighters, so we're going to go ahead and place 2 additional hotspots. So we got one at 6, 5. It's not good because that is right in the area where there's a bunch of fire already. And then 6, 5, which is what I just rolled, 4, 3. So there's our other hotspot. All right, everything else goes back into the box. We don't need these additional hotspots over here. Put those in there. We've got some additional doors we don't need. But we are going to keep the healing icons. So we're going to move an ambulance here. We're going to go ahead and move... I think we're going to start off here with the deck gun. And we're going to go ahead and do our kind of the same operator as before, same setup as before. Our green is going to be the deck gun operator. Our paramedic is going to be blue. She's going to start right here. And then finally, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with the cast firefighter, because I want them to start here, and I want them to start sort of getting this area quickly taken care of. So that's the order that we're going to go in. Hopefully this will work. We'll see. Now, technically, when you're using the deck gun, you can only affect the quadrant that you're in, but it is possible that splashback will hit an adjacent area. So I can, if I hit here, it will cover this here as well. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the deck gun. Normally it's 4 AP to use the deck gun, which means it's pretty much most characters, all of their turns. But in this case, we're going to be able to do this for 2 AP. So we get 2, 4. Now it's not in the quadrant that we're in, so we're going to flip this to be a 5. We're going to flip this to be a 7. So 5, 7 right here. We're going to go ahead and re-roll the orange, the 8-sided dice, not the orange dice. That's a 4. That's still going to be a 7 then. So we hit 4, 7, and unfortunately that doesn't affect anything. 5, 7. Sorry, 5, 7 does nothing. So fortunately we get to use it again. So I get a little rusty getting this out. We get 4, 2, which again is going to translate into 4, 7. So we'll go ahead and re-roll this. Let's go ahead and re-roll both of them. So we get a 4 this time, and the 2 becomes a 5, and this is much better. 4, 5 is going to hit here, and then the splashback takes out all those. So at least they did something. So now we're going to re-roll 4, 3. So 4 and then 3 is going to hit here. We're going to get some smoke. However, that was a hot spot, so we have to roll again. We get 6, 2, which is right here. That is also going to be smoke, but now, because it's an additional flare-up, we have to add a hot spot to it. So now we've got another hot spot going on. Yay! All right, so paramedic is going to go in here. 1, 2, 3. False alarm. It's awesome. 4. She's going to try to get the hazardous material out, which is kind of a waste of a paramedic, but I honestly, like, I feel like I should have gone with the hazmat technician instead of the paramedic, but that's neither here nor there. Their ability would have been just dispose of that for 2 AP, which would have been nice with this one over here. So now we're going to place more fire. Actually, we're going to do the POI first. So the POI is going to go at 1-3. So she's still in an area where there's a POI. And then we're going to roll again. 3-6 is where we're going to get some smoke. 3-6. Uh-oh. That POI over here is not looking good. All right, now finally this. So we're going to get 3 free extinguish APs. So the first one will be 1. We move for 1. Then 2 AP. 2. Can't unfortunately get down here to extinguish that, which I would really like. So we will extinguish this, and we get, no. Sorry, I'm being a dullard here. Let me try to do this again. 1 movement, 1 extinguished, 2 movement, 3 movement. There we go. All right, more important to actually get the smoke taken care of because I don't want that smoke becoming a fire. All right, so now, 1-1, we see some smoke start to erupt over here. Deck gun gets to go. Deck gun has nothing else in this area to really hit. So the deck gun will go over here as their first movement. That counts as a 2 AP move. So they will fire this again. They'll get 1-4. That is in the range, but unfortunately that is a lousy spot. So we're going to re-roll both of these. 1-1. We flip this to be a 6-1, and unfortunately we have to accept that result, but it does at least take that out. We now roll to advance the fire. 3-2 is going to be right where our firefighter is, actually. That's not looking good. So she is going to have to do this for 2, unfortunately. There's nothing she can really do about that. And then she's going to move towards getting this person healed and out of there. It is not looking good over here at all. Like, this is going to be a nasty situation, I think. Oh, and this should have been flipped over. Sorry. We're going to roll to place some more fire, and that's going to be at 3-7, which is where the firefighter is, over here. Firefighter will extinguish that for free. 1. Oh, good lord. 2. Free extinguish. And then 3, and we'll get in place to do that one over there on the next turn. So now we're going to place another POI. 6-1. Will be the next one. So we got to get into this room over here, I think. And now we advance the fire. 1-8. 1-8, there is a fire already. So this is going to explode out this way. We're going to do a whole bunch of damage over here. That's not good. The deck gun gets to go next. They'll get to go twice. I could also do a shift change and switch over to the hazmat person. Which I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to actually do that. So we don't change that out. We just change this. We're in the engine, so we can actually do that. That has to be the first. You have to be in the engine to do that. It has to be the first action of your turn. So we've used 2 AP. We've got 2 AP left. We're going to move them over here. And basically, we're going to have them try to get out this hazmat material here as part of their focus. So now we advance the fire. We've got 3 POIs, so we don't need to worry about that. More fire appears at 4-6. 4-6 is over here. It's in the hallway, so not too bad. And now we go to the paramedic. The paramedic goes over here for 1. Finds a cat. Heals it for 2. She can now chop her way out, which I'm a little worried about because I don't want to destroy too much of the building, but we haven't saved anybody yet. If I move 2 back this way, my concern is that I will run the risk of being in the line of an explosion, but I think I'm going to go ahead and risk it. So yeah, that was 1 to move, 1 to heal, 2 to come back. All right. We now roll for more fire. 5, 7. Spreads over this way. This guy over here gets 3 free extinguished. So 1, 2, 3. And still has 1 more move on top of that. And I think I'm going to have him move out here and get ready to get in, like get the deck gun, and so they can move to another part, because I want to get them over here. And I think, as far as I know, it still takes 2 AP to move the vehicle, even if no one's in it. So one thing I don't quite understand is, if I am here, can I call the ambulance to here? Or can I just simply spend 2 AP and put the ambulance and myself here? And that I'm not too sure about. And that is a little vague in the rules. Nonetheless, they've gone, so we're going to advance the fire. 4, 6. That's not good, because that is smoke, so that turns into fire. That is running the risk of setting off this hazmat over here. So we do start with the hazmat technician for 2 AP. They'll get rid of that. Then 1, 2. They'll make their way over here for the next turn. But for now, we're going to roll to advance the fire. 4, 2, which is going to be right here. Adjacent to smoke, so we don't advance that. If it were adjacent to fire, it would turn into fire automatically. Paramedic is going to go 1, 2, 3. And save the cat. So we've got 1 rescued now, and then head back in. And actually, we're going to save up an AP, and we're going to move with the ambulance next turn. But for now, we're going to first replace the POI. 1, 1. Turns out there was a POI in the smoke. And then we're going to advance the fire. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That turns into fire, and that kills the person who was there. I'm so sorry. We did not get to you in the non-existent amount of time that took. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll have them save up a AP. Again, I don't know if I'm doing that right. It feels wrong the way that I'm doing it. I might have them just start to go in this way on the next turn. For now, though, we're going to advance the fire. 3, 3, which is pretty much where our hazmat guy is a bummer, because that means that they're not going to be able to remove that hazmat on the next turn. Let's see. But it is their turn, so 1 to get rid of the smoke. 1, 2. They need 2 AP to get rid of the hazmat, so the best they can do right now is just simply grab an AP to hold on to the next turn. We're going to advance the fire. 1, 4. Puts it over here. She's now going to drive this around for 2 AP. Open the door for 3. Then 4 and 5. And we'll start to deal with that, and she's used her additional action point. Advance the fire. 5, 5. That's not good, I think. So that is here. It is adjacent to a fire, so that becomes smoke. Or it becomes an actual fire. This guy's going to go ahead and use 2 AP to chop a hole in the wall for 1. For 2, I mean. Then 3. They have an extra movement here. And then they'll use this for putting that up. All right, and then we're going to advance the fire. 2, 8. 2, 8. Starting to become a problem up there. Hopefully we'll get to that point where we can deal with it. Hazmat person gets to go. They get to dispose of this for 2 AP. They've still got 3 AP left. So 1, and then they'll put that up. And that's their turn. Advance the fire, 1-8. This becomes smoke over here. Let's see. Paramedic goes 1, flips that, then heals for 2, 3, 4. And they come with. All right. Can't heal on this turn, but on the next turn I should be able to get 2 more people out. We lost a POI, and I forgot to replace them. So 2-6 for the POI that I forgot to replace. Sorry about that. All right, let's see. We're going to place another fire, this time at 1-3, right behind our dude there. Extinguisher guy goes 1, chops for 2, and that is as much as they can do. They can't extinguish from there. They only have the 3 AP, and I think I forgot that earlier when I did the movement there. So if I messed that up, I'm sorry. But that's the end of their turn, so they'll advance the fire. 4-3. That turns into fire here. Plus, it generates a hotspot at 4-4. So this also becomes a fire. This also is a hotspot now. So this whole area is starting to become really bad. Hazmat dude can put this out for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then at least start to help make some progress over here. It is possible that I could have this person leave and go get back on the engine and get replaced with the deck gun person. But I think for now, this is how we're gonna run with it. We're gonna go ahead and more fire at 5-3 this time, and this is gonna cause nope, smoke, but it becomes a fire. All right, so paramedic's turn. She's gonna heal this person. Then 1, 2, and 3, and these 2 are both saved. They are now out and free. We're going to roll for 2 more POIs. One is going to be at 5-7, which is right here. And then another one at 4-3, which is right here. That is on a fire, so we cannot put one there. Following the arrows means that one will be here. Now, this is a false alarm. That's awesome. All right, so 1, 2, that's a free extinguish. I could bring the hazmat back out this way, but I feel like my priority has to be moving to put out fire. So I've extinguished 2 fires and I've only moved once. So 2, second movement, and then I'll move here for my third movement. There is a person there, and I will extinguish this. Okay. That makes me feel better. So we're going to replace the POI. 2-7. There's another POI at 2-7. So we need to get up into this room. And then there's more fire at 1-4, which is already on fire, so that becomes smoke. All right, so Hazmat Guy, 2 AP to put that fire out, move 1, and then 1 AP to put the smoke out, and that resolves that, and that's good. We're going to roll for more fire, this time at 5-3. Which there's already a fire, and this is not good. So, we follow the rules. Fire goes this way. Fire goes this way. This is damage, so at least we're not going to knock back the firefighter yet. And then fire goes this way. Paramedic really can't do anything about getting through this fire to there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move the paramedic over to here. That's going to take all 4 AP. But I can then get in here and get these other POIs out. And we're going to go ahead and advance the fire. Hopefully nothing too bad. 4-4 is going to be right here. Yeah, that's actually not too bad at all. And we're on to yellow. Yellow is going to have to let this person sit here for a bit. going to 1, 2, 1, 2. If I brought this person with me, then at least I can get them out of the building. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult to move with this person, but I will endeavor to get this person out. Now we roll again to see where the fire is. Spreading 3-1. Back over here, somebody threw in a cigarette into the doorway. That was stupid. Hazmat person is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and get ready to get this hazmat out of here because that is, I think, the most important thing that they can do. So we're going to roll to see where more fire is. 6-4. 6-4 is not good. That will cause an explosion. Unfortunately, they're there. So explosion goes this way, and it damages the walls. Was not a hotspot itself, so we don't advance. We don't worry about advancing that. But this is a bad situation for this dude to be in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to see who we've got here and then work on treating them and getting them out. We're going to roll to advance the fire. 4, 3. It's going to be here, but since it's adjacent to a fire, that is going to become more fire. Smoke becomes fire, and it's a hot spot, so we're going to get another hot spot. This time at 2-4. So 2-4 is smoke, but it's adjacent to fire, so that becomes fire. And we also have a hot spot here. So things are not looking good. This person is going to go 1, 2, move, extinguish, and then keep an extra AP for the next turn. And that will allow this person to get this person out of here. We're going to roll to advance the fire. 6-3. Not good, because this is an explosion. So this way, this door is blown out. Does not actually count as damage, though, so I don't use a black cube for it. And then there's fire travels all this way. Basically, the order it goes in is keep going in a direction. It's either going to be open space, in which case you put a fire thing in there. It's going to be wall, in which case you put damage icon, or it's going to be a door, in which case you blow out the door. So it's one of those three. And again, the thing I was doing wrong in the previous playthrough is adding way too many fires. That is yellow, so hazmat dude, 2 to remove that. And then I think 3, 4, we'll get this person over here to help start putting out some of this fire. All right, so we're going to roll for more fire. 3, 6. This is starting to get bad because we've got a lot of like hot spots popping up. But fortunately, that's not too bad. So she's going to heal for 1, move, heal for 1, and move. On the next turn, she'll be able to get out. 6-3 is another. Oh man! Oh, this is bad. So close. 6-3, explosion, explosion, explosion. Firefighter gets knocked back to the ambulance, and this is another lost victim. All right, so that's bad. So let's replace the POI. POI is going to be 5-4, which does not have anything on it. I was so close to getting that person out. And another bit of fire here at 1-5. That hurts. We have the extra AP, and I'm thinking that my best move is to just simply have them move over here. And we're going to go ahead and put out a fire and put out a fire. Because technically they're in both spaces, and they can put out the fire from both. That's my rule. I'm going to count it that way. I needed the extra AP because it took 4 AP to get all the way over here. But that's how I'm playing that. 6/6 is where our next smoke is going to come in. It's adjacent to fire, so it becomes smoke. Now we're going to go green. Green is just simply going to go 1, 2, 3. There's an extra AP for moving with that person. But that's about as much as I can do. And hopefully we will still be able to get them out of here. 3/1 is where our next one is going to be. That's going to turn that into fire, but fortunately it doesn't affect anything else. This person is going to move outside the building, rescuing 2 more people. And she's going to hold on to 2 AP and find out what we're going to be doing next turn. Let's go ahead and replace those 2 POIs. 5/1 is going to be here. 5/8 is going to be here. Okay. And now we advance the fire. 1/3. 1/3 is smoke, but it's adjacent to fire, so that becomes fire. Now we've got almost a complete column of fire. Next up is the cast firefighter. They'll go 1, put that out for free, 2, put that out for free, put that out for free, and then 3, and get over here to this other person. 5/4 is going to be smoke that turns into fire. Could be a lot worse. Hazmat dude is next. For 2, they're going to pull this out here. And that is another person that we've saved. And then I think head over to here for their other 2. And then try to get in here to save that person. So now, 1/8. This turns into fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that still leaves me 1 more, so she's going to hop in here, and it's a false alarm. Okay. So I think that was the way to do it. Basically, I went here, called for the ambulance to come here. That's 2 AP. Moved the ambulance to here for another 2 AP, and then moved 1 for 6. Fortunately, I have the 2 extras from before, but as you saw, it was a false alarm. So now I need to replace some POIs. I got 2 more POIs to replace, which are the last 2 POIs in the game. So, scary. We got 5 and 6 is going to be 1. And then 4 and 3 is going to be the other. 4 and 3 has fire on it, so they'll move 1. All right, so this person has to go. 1. There's a dude there. We are just simply going to cut out a hole in the wall and move on the next turn. We're going to check to see more fire, which is probably going to be pretty bad. 1/7, that'll be actual fire. Hazmat dude, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a cat. I think that was a mistake on my part. I should have actually moved them in here, then here. So that is my bad for having done that way. So that was another mistake. Up to 2, I think, so far that I know of. Still not enough to cancel the game. 1/1. That's not bad. That's going to be nice and out of the way. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3. There's very little she can do, isn't there? I mean, there's squat. I mean, she can't even operate the deck gun because she doesn't have she's not next to the machine. So I think she's going to save. Well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's nothing she can really do. She'll go ahead and save. Hold on to 4, just in case. So we're almost at the end of this game. 3/3. That's bad because that's going to be an explosion. it's going to go fire that way, fire this way, door this way, door this way. Now our yellow person gets to go, and they're going to bring this person out to safety. And that is it. We've won the game. So there's still 2 people trapped inside. We don't care about them. We're callous that way. We've managed to save 7 people. The others are just going to have to suck it. I believe that this means this is a false alarm. Game's over. We've won. So, yeah, that's a false alarm. There are 5 false alarms, 10 victims. And so you can either save 7 victims or lose 4 victims. At that point, the game is over. But that is it. We have successfully completed the game with minor errors here and there. Folks, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow, where we'll be starting a new week, Nature Week. And look forward to seeing you then. Ciao.